We're turning our attention to the world's most intellectual quiz. Quite interesting, really. It's the cult TV quiz QI. It's had a momentous rise since its launch in 2003. Nearly 5 million people watched the last series on BBC2, and in the new year, it's going to switch to BBC1.
Yeah, they picked up a Royal Television Society Award for Best Entertainment Programme and has spawned many successful books, including a new one out now. There you are. Creators of the show are here.
Is that it?
That's it.
The book.
That's it. There's the book.
That's the plug.
Finished. Before we talk to the creators of the show, here's what all the fuss is about.
Can you name a single lake in the English Lake District?
There we are, straight in, top of the show, Windermere. I've only been on 20 seconds.
It's a tragic introduction to the world of our human...
How can Lake Windermere not be a lake in the Lake District?
It isn't called Lake Windermere.
Yes, it is. It's called Lake Windermere.
Only by people who don't know what it really should be called.
The moon.
Any other thoughts as to a lake in the Lake District?
Coniston Water.
Oh! Now there, the clue is actually in the title, Coniston Water. It's a water. There are waters, and there are meres, and there are tarns, but there is one lake.
Try Lake Titicaca.
Lake Titicaca.
Anyone know it? Anyone know it?
Bassenthwaite. Oh, very good. Now, audience, did you say Bassenthwaite? You get, I think, 10 points to the audience.
See, that's why I'm never, ever going on that show. Ever. If it happened to a man, a brilliant writer like Charlie Higson, just no. Simply not.
And they're just big potholes that you can fall into. It's unfair, really. Where did it all start?
Well, my kids are all teenagers now, or nearly all, and but when they were little tiny ones, they started asking questions, as children do, and I've discovered that I didn't know any of the answers to any of the questions they asked. Like, my son once said to me, "Dad, you know, they say if you watch too much television, you get square eyes." Yeah. And he said, "Why don't they make an eye-shaped television, and then you could watch it as often as you want?"
Very good point.
By the way, I should say, this is John Lloyd. Good morning.
Oh,
John
I'm sorry.
Mitchison.
Did we not
Good
even say... Well, we did at the very beginning,
no, we didn't.
Didn't we?
No, we didn't. See,
Appalling.
trick question. QI, remind me, what's it stand for?
Quite interesting.
Oh, really? Is it that simple?
It really is, it's that simple.
Oh, I thought it was going to be quotient index or something.
No.
Well, it's also IQ backwards, because it isn't about sort of linear thinking and knowledge, it's more about ignorance, really.
Is Stephen Fry really that clever, or does he just rely on the QI elves
He's
squirreling
got
away in the
He's
background?
got lots of cards.
I know he does, but occasionally he does look like he knows.
No, he does know a great deal. It's a wonderful partnership, because he fills in all the bits that we don't know. He's the cement between the elf work.
How many elves do you have, by the way?
Well, it depends. We have 4 permanent elves.
Is that all?
Yeah.
It expands a bit during the TV show.
During the series, we have a little.
I'm intrigued. I'd love to have been there when this show was pitched. Did you pitch the show to the
I
bigwigs?
pitched it.
What did you say?
Well,
we've got an idea for...
Originally, I pitched it to BBC1, where we've now ended up after 6 years. And I said, the thing is, you don't get points for being right, you get points for being interesting. And the controller said, but how would we know who had won?
Yes.
So I said, OK, goodbye then. And we went to BBC2.
Yeah.
And now it's transferring.
Yeah.
I'd rather it stayed on BBC2, actually. It feels like a little secret if you watch it on BBC2.
You feel like you're being special, don't you?
Yeah, you feel like you're being
clever.
special. You're being clever. It's BBC2.
Yes, I'm sophisticated.
Anyway.
I'm watching BBC2.
So, John, tell us now about... So, Advanced Banter is the name of the book, which has a lot of sort of QI-isms in it.
It's a book of quotations, and we discovered over sort of long periods of time that we collected huge files of quotations, because we like quotations. You know, sort of very pithy ways of encapsulating either humour or truth or any. And we cut this book down. It could have been twice as long, but we cut down sort of that's our favourites. And we thought a quotations book that only had great things in it.
How did you find them? How did you find them? Where did you go looking?
Just time. 10 years of writing things down. So, you know, carefully. We read a lot of books of quotations, but mainly every time you see one in a newspaper or magazine, you write it down.
And then you presumably checked it for accuracy because it's been in a paper.
Yeah.
John M, by the way, has his finger in the book, which must mean...
No, I've got mine marked out. Come on,
I want to hear
your best.
I want to give a personal one, firstly.
Okay.
People who say they sleep like a baby, usually don't have one.
Very good.
Yes, well, we've got, talking of children, it's just to show that we're not sentimental about children, but there's a great quote in there which says, never raise your hand to a child, it leaves your midsection unprotected.
See, I like this one from, this is real wisdom from St. Augustine, because you had a whole thing about kindness.
Yeah.
He that is kind is free, though he is a slave. He that is evil is a slave, though he be a king. Too right. Would you say? Isn't that...
Yeah,
why are you frowning?
No, I was just thinking, I've
You put
forgotten
that-
how
you put-
wise that is.
It's marvellous, isn't it?
No, well, the thing is, it's a book which has lots of funny things in it, but the idea is that in between the funny things, you get lots of ideas. For example, war is God's way of teaching Americans geography. And it makes you think about, you know, the world situation, not just about stuff.
Right, Robin Williams said cocaine is God's way of telling you got too much money.
Is that what he said?
He did.
Is it in there?
No, I don't know. I'm looking for something about the weather.
Okay. All
'Cause,
right. Thank you very much. Very entertaining. Very. In fact, we could really do with you. You know, we're doing celebrity, whatchamacallit?
Eggheads.
Eggheads. We're doing celebrity eggheads
Yes.
very soon.
All right.
We could do with you being our elves, actually, in the background, squirreling
We're willing
away.
to serve.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you say that. Have you found one yet?
Well, there's lots. I've just got to choose the right one.
Do you want me to talk to them for lunch?
No, here we go. Yeah, OK. There's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. So Ranulph Fiennes said that.
Yeah,
What do you
very
reckon,
good.
Carol?
I think that's pretty much the truth. In fact, today, well, it's going to be mild, so you can choose some appropriate clothing this morning. This morning it's mild too.